Romance should be a key part of every relationship. It helps deepen your intimacy towards each other and helping you to fall in love with your mate. As a consequence, planning for a date should be romantic also. Much debate has gone on and continues nowadays about what is a romantic date and what really is a romantic date, for everyone views romance differently. The differences not only exist between men and women, but each woman and each man also has their own idea about what really is a romantic date. Actually, a romantic date is not simply about flowers, candy, or kisses, but it's the attitude of love that motivates you to give those things. Even if you may think you don't have a romantic bone in your body, you will be surprised at what some creative thinking can create. Before planning a romantic date, you should first observe the simple things your partner or your partner does on a daily basis. What food your partner likes to eat, what are her favorite colors, and even the smallest things that make your partner smile. We seldom take this small matter for granted, yet they can be very well used to our advantage. Ideas for a romantic date depend upon several wonderful little surprises, but what's important is you are doing it for the one you love. You wanted him or her to feel that there is something special about her/him while you are doing such things. You are doing something romantic and special because you wanted to express something to her, and you'd be expecting a good result out of your romantic date. Sometimes though, we tend to think and realize that organizing and planning a romantic and perfect date is not that simple. Different types and characters of each people are one to be considered in making this romantic date into action. At this point, there are certain tips and ideas for a romantic date from which you can choose from. You just have to be creative and interested in the activity for you and your partner to have a romantic date. An old but cherished favorite romantic date idea is to give her flowers first. Not one person can say that they haven't blushed when someone's ordered a pretty bunch of flowers and hand them delivered. Together with a note on the card expressing your feelings, she'll surely go with you for a date. Another great tip for a romantic date is to invite her for a dinner, not from the restaurant, but to a very solemn and romantic place, with the food you cooked. Though you may not be a culinary expert, she will just love you for trying. Those are just examples of romantic date ideas, but there are other tips for a romantic date that will really sweep her off her feet. People used to make mixtapes and CDs for their boyfriends and girlfriends all the time, but that died down when iPods and streaming music services launched. Depending on the type of person you're seeing, you can bring it back if you want, or you can express the same sentiment by creating a playlist on a streaming music app like Spotify. They'll be touched by the fact that you took the time to do this, and that you remember all the songs that mean something to your relationship. This playlist could include the song you heard when you first kissed, the song you both know all the words to, the song he or she karaoke that one time at that one party, the song he or she listens to in the shower, and it goes on and on. Think of a talent you have that involves creating, and use that talent to make your partner something special. If you're a woodworker, you could make a small box for their keys because they're always losing them. If you're a painter, you could paint a picture of your favorite spot in town. If you're an interior designer, you can create a spot in the house that can be the reading nook they've always wanted. You get the idea. Anything that's something they like or need will show that you pay attention to them and took the time to make something just for them. On the other hand, romantic dates are not only for people dating but for married people also. Though married people are busy with functions, kids, work, and friends, they should never neglect their partners. An ideal romantic date is a beach picnic under a full moon and the stars are gazing through the skies, walking while holding hands. You can do this together with your kids. Going out together to see an orchestral concert or a play will also work. Getting close to one another or anything that involves romantic things is actually considered romantic. If your date is the typical sports fanatic, you may take her to her favorite sport. A baseball or hockey game of her favorite team perhaps is another typical romantic date idea. When it comes to romance, the key is not to overthink it too much. If the romantic gesture is coming from your heart, they'll appreciate it and your time together. With these tips and ideas, you'll surely have a romantic date. If you haven't subscribed, then do consider subscribing. We post regularly videos on getting girls and how to be a man.